Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to We're Offended, You're Offended. I'm Kim, the guy that just left is Tyler, and it is Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. So the second day of the week. That's what Tuesday is. Anyway, hope everybody had a fantastic Monday. Not sure if anybody else was watching the trial with Amber Heard today. I was watching, I think I got like 4 hours in, and then I had to stop, but it was just like, I don't know, her lawyers talking, but I did hear some clippage a little bit of Johnny Depp's lawyer interrogating her, and it was beautiful. I really like this Camille person. Yeah, she's on it. So can't wait to see more tomorrow. And but what do we got on the docket for us today?
All right, so maybe we can kind of maybe bring that up because there's some big stuff going on with Canada's Supreme Court. I don't think we've talked about it, but Canada's Supreme Court is now saying that extreme intoxication can be a valid defense for murders or sex assaults.
Excuse you?
That
What the
look at that a little bit. Oh, and a little bit of and I guess the kind of theme today is going to be a little bit of kind of reading what people like to do and the I guess the alienation that has been going on with a lot of movies lately, like the Star Trek Picard show is woke disaster all the way back. I think the big catalyst that I think a lot of people finally caught on was with Ghostbusters, with a big remake that championed as an all-female cast, and if you don't like it, you're a misogynist, like you're a bigot, you hate women, no, blaming the fans, and just kind of this consistent attack on men, and weird stuff going on with another heap on the pile of the mountain that is mountain that is get woke, go broke. That whole thing. So we're going to talk about some of that and how fast the media has the Waukesha guy who was an espoused Black Lives Matter supporter and seen white people as less than. Weird how fast you seen that story got kiboshed quick. But when you have a white kid that shot up a bunch of black people who was actually a leftist authoritarian, like fuck, one of our own, like not like one of I think
backtrack.
Yeah. Just no, I'm a minority. I'm native. Fuck off. But it's more the idea of like when I'm saying things like it's as a joke. It's to get a rise. It's to maybe you get offended by it, but at the end of the day, I don't look at one skin color or one, like a man or a woman. I don't look at one as inherently better or inherently worse. I can't like grasp that concept and go, yeah, there's one thing we need to do in this world is get a lot less natives. Like, what? Like, and that's on a serious note. Obviously, we make jokes and say shit where you go, what did you just say? Yeah, it's a joke.
That's how we do, yo.
But on the mountain of woke, so we'll talk about some of that, and maybe some other stuff that comes up. But we do have a little bit to get into. But of course, you're here Monday to Friday. We're working on some new stuff in order with timing, since Elon has now saved us, so that the shifting can happen. Where our uploads aren't taking 8, 9, 10 hours. It's
more at times.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends how bad. We told our old internet provider, a little behind the scenes, cost me $700 to tell them to go fuck themselves.
Insane.
That's how dedicated I am to this. I
Honestly,
am done.
when you told me that, I was like, that is insane. The fact that we're getting penalized for saying your service sucks, bye. Like I don't I really just don't understand. And I know we've talked about it for I don't know, maybe last week or the week before, something like that, about how we were getting Starlink, super excited about that. Okay, just to put something into perspective. Okay, so uploading a hour and a half long podcast video, like he said, takes us anywhere from 8 to 10 hours on average. But there were days where literally it would be like I'd come home from work at 6 o'clock and it still wasn't done uploading. So it was going for almost 24 hours. Like it was freaking crazy. But anyway,
It's unacceptable.
yeah. So we get Starlink, okay? We get it hooked up. The podcast that I uploaded yesterday, it actually gave me an ETA. I know people are like, yeah, okay. I've never seen an ETA. That's how shitty our internet is. It's never said, oh, this is going to take 12 hours. It said nothing. Nothing. I got an ETA yesterday. That shit was uploaded in less than an hour. It was beautiful. Yeah, you turn that hour.
Yeah,
Kid
well,
gnawing on this freaking, like, what is
I
that?
know.
Sorry, we don't
An
feed them.
animal.
I know.
All right, but so Monday through Friday, we are here. Things are going to be changing. Bringing more stuff to like I've said, you spending your time here means the world. That is one thing that I. Oh God, is that a lot lizard? I think that's a lot lizard. Oh
Really?
God.
Oh my God. Point the camera to it. I want to see it. Show
Oh
me.
no, it's not. No, it's not. It's a driver. It's a driver. It just looked like a creepy woman walking around a parking lot.
Okay, if we're ever podcasting and you see yourself one of those little lot lizard people, I want to see. I want to
Lot
see.
lizard people.
Oh, lizard people.
All right, let's get the formalities out of the way. Monday through Friday, we are here. We are here, trying to get more stuff, more entertaining things, get a little more discussion going, maybe a little more controversial kind of opinions or differing opinions. But if you're we're on YouTube, we're on Rumble, we're on Spotify, all the listening places. Check us out. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm really sick of posting all this shit or having to promote this shit with Kim. She does all the titles and she does that stuff. I do the research, but we are here. If you're on Rumble, hit the Rumble button. Question of the day. You go to a bar that only played women's sports? Question of
Oh,
the day.
huh. Oh. I guess depending on what you're into. I mean, I would assume a women's only sports bar would be primarily women. So you're into that sort of thing.
Well,
I definitely go
let
there to
us
pick
know.
up a chick.
If anything, it'd be some woke, but we're going to talk about some of that. But let's get into this first one. Ooh. Okay, so this was from the Supreme Court of Canada, handed down a decision on, I believe it was Friday, ruling that. So this, I'll just read a little excerpt from it. So the Supreme Court of Canada on Friday ruled that defendants accused of violent crimes such as homicide and sexual assault may use self-induced extreme intoxication as defense. Let me read this little tidbit. Cassier said the use of the criminal code section violated the charter because a person's decision to become intoxicated does not mean they intended to commit a violent offense. This is like the ultimate in it's not my fault. Like this. This is the other part. The charter was also the charter was also violated because an accused could be convicted without the prosecution having to prove the person was willing or meant to commit the act. Listen what they called it. If you are too intoxicated, they call it non-mental disorder automatism. I actually thought that said autism the first time I read it. I'm like, what? There's now an autism drunk?
To be honest, as I was reading it along with you, that's what auto-populated in my head. So,
But
is this a joke, right? Right?
As far as I know, no. The court said it is a law in Canada that intoxication, short of automatism, is not a defense for the kind of violent crime and issue. So, the Me Too movement, gone, dead. This is totally shoved off any personal responsibility that, okay, so if I drink blackout drunk and I now get behind the wheel of a car and I kill people, I didn't do it. I was too drunk to know that I was even doing that.
I was totally going to say that. Like, they're saying, well, you don't have that. It's like, you can't make that choice. Well, you can. You made the choice to keep drinking when you got to a certain point. Like, I myself, I mean, I know, I guess maybe not all people know themselves this well. I don't know. To me, it seems a little ridiculous, but I know visually how much I can drink before I'm past that point. Also, not even just visually, I know the feeling inside me, right? Like, I know once I get to this point, like, okay, I need to start drinking Pepsi now, because if I have one more drink, I'm Folksville, right? Where I'm just gonna ride this roller coaster because I'm pretty drunk right now. So, but the thing is, you know that. So if you choose to keep doing something like that, or even to get to that point, like, I mean, I understand where I've been
that's
in.
That's not the point.
Well,
the point is, if you get so drunk, no, but what the court is saying that if you get to the point where you are, what do you say? Like, hey, I was super drunk, I was super high. I'm sorry, I was on mushrooms and I thought this person was a demon. How was I supposed to know they weren't a demon? And so I fucking ripped their face off.
Greyhound
this has
bus?
totally. Well, but even there, but he wasn't in a right mental state. He was fucking psychotic.
Yes,
but I'm
he
saying,
had a mental disorder.
But that is totally different. That is totally different. That is 100. That is one thing, that you are afflicted by a mental condition. That is totally different than I am choosing to partake in this, and okay, I am now no longer in the right state of mind. I put myself there, and
that's what I'm saying. It's a choice. Like, you're making that choice to get that drunk. Like,
yeah, but you were saying, like, the Robert Lee or whatever the hell is that, Tom, whatever, the fucking Greyhound guy. You were saying, like, oh well, he has a perfect excuse now. Well,
no.
That's different.
You said if you were high on drugs and you started hallucinating and thought someone was a demon, it made me think of that guy from the Greyhound bus thing, because he thought that kid was a demon. He had a mental disorder, whereas you can have a drug that can fuck with your head, right? So how does that?
That's different.
But okay, well, it may be different, but it's what I'm saying is you're seeing things.
No, you're talking about an actual mental disorder. Another thing is you are triggering the effect. So I think having a mental illness is worlds apart from I am choosing to partake and have this happen.
Yeah. Yes.
I like.
Okay, but to continue on with what I was,
those are separate.
I know, but if you let me continue on, my point exactly is that they are separate. That Robert Lee, or whatever his name was, it's not his choice to see what he's seeing. But if I'm going to take a drug that's going to make me hallucinate like somebody who suffers from schizophrenia, that's my choice. I just made that choice. So how is that getting me off the hook? How would that be okay? Where somebody literally has a mental disorder where they're in no control of it, but yet I'm choosing to take said drugs to then fuck with my mind. And yet I'm going to be able to get off because, oh, well, I wasn't in my right state of mind. That was my choice. Just like it's your choice to drink too much and get behind a wheel. You're making all these choices. Yes, your choices are going to be clouded and it's going to be poor judgment, but you were the one pouring those drinks. You were the one agreeing to somebody pouring those drinks, or whatever kind of excuse you want to give yourself. You made that choice. So you should be held
Well,
accountable.
it's like, and I find this is mind-boggling to me. Where, okay, now they say that alcoholism is a disease. But it's a disease like you chose. Like when someone has type 2 diabetes, like, well, I ate a lot of fucking Krispy Kremes and I have a lot of sugar and I'm in my diet and well, but it's not my fault I decided. Like this is an ultimate. I am not responsible for myself. That is mind-boggling. Okay, so now every, a rape victim, a murder victim,
Yeah.
are now, oh, well, we were super drunk and I had no idea that I had no idea. I get behind the wheel. So now every habitual drinker now has this is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Well, and
And of
you
course, like anything that we reference, that will be listed in the description. I encourage you, look this up for yourself. This is, oh,
well, and you have
but
those
if I am in the right state of mind, sorry, yeah, what?
No, I was just going to say, well, you even have those people now that will say, I'm drunk in a bar and I meet you and we go home and I have consensual sex with you. Then I wake up the next day and I'm like, what the fuck did I just do? Oh my God. Like he took advantage of me. I was drunk. I can call rape on that, even though I was consenting at the time. Like you have people who do that. And now,
But I've never agreed with that to begin with.
well,
I think
no,
that's stupid.
I think it's stupid too. But now, so you have that for one extreme where, okay, you can be drinking and even if it's consensual, well, you can charge somebody for this. Whereas, okay, well now they're having this law that, or they're trying to put this into place or whatever about, okay, well, if you're doing this, then you're not at fault. Like everything is just such extreme. Like it's one extreme to another. Like there's no kind of middle ground there. Like I don't
There's
know
no
how.
personal responsibility.
Yeah.
Like now, how
Yeah.
much do we expand this? Like what is someone that is autism that has autism that's on the spectrum as we call it don't want to exclude people that are on the spectrum that don't pick up social cues and someone's going, hey, I don't like the way you looked at my girlfriend, and the autist goes, well, I like girls, I think they have nice boobies, and he gets punched in the face. Or the autist like goes and grabs her. I'd say goes and grabs her tits, and someone goes, "What the fuck? What? You can't do that." I'm sorry. I don't have a. I know when I drink and I'm autist, I like grabbing women's breasts. I just can't help it.
Fun fact, when I was in high school,
Oh,
we
God.
had obviously special needs kids in our high school. And there was one day I was standing like in and around the office hallway. And as I was standing there, because I had just gotten suspended for wearing my It Must Suck to Be You shirt that I was telling you about because I refused to turn it inside out. So I got suspended because, people, special snowflakes. And anyway, so there was one of those paraprofessionals walking down the hall with one of the special ed kids. And the kid walked up to me and grabbed my tits. And I was like, oh my God. I was like pushed up against the wall. I'm like, what the hell? She just like grabs him. Like there was no apology or anything. She just like, oh my God. I can't remember what his name was. But she just kind of like shoos him away. And I was like,
Christopher.
what the fuck?
Christopher.
I doubt it.
No, we had a Christopher that he did this. Actually, you can't see what my arms are doing, but he like jazz hands.
Nice.
Apparently he was like a super nice kid, but he was just retarded.
Speaking of
But no,
insulting names, because you just said retarded, I know it's a smidge just off topic here. At the other school that I had went to, they actually had special ed kids there that in the yearbook, which I could prove this to you, not here right now, I'd have to look it up. But anyway, they actually, they're special needs people. They called them the crackers. Tell me that doesn't sound really like offensive.
Lame? How's that lame? Or how's that? Why?
I don't know. Like it just seems really offensive. 'Cause crackers is what they used to like
No.
call white people as an insult. Call them a bunch of crackers.
No, I understand that,
Mm-hmm.
but you can't say that. You'll get us banned. Can't say that.
Oh my God, we say so many
I'm
things
dead
that could get us
serious.
banned.
I know it's stupid, but
Agreed.
okay, but so so the more that I was looking at this, trying to rationalize it. Well, like I said, the Me Too movement, it's dead. There was that Rolling Stone article. Oh, the Me Too. There were people that were, in this tidal wave of believe all women. Okay, well now they're saying oh, men, women. Hey, if you're drunk and you wanna kill someone, just get super drunk. Like if you want to murder someone, and of course well, I was so drunk, I didn't mean to chop that guy's head off. I didn't mean to rip that lady's arms off. It just happened. Shit gets weird when you do a couple Jaeger bombs. Like, who, please, he who is without sin, do the first Jaeger bomb.
I love how the atheist quotes bobbles. Bobble quotes. Bible quotes. Freudian slip there.
He who, no, I,
Well, see,
this is really disturbing to me.
yes, there was like that case not that long ago. I know we talked about it in one of the past podcasts or whatever, but that one girl who her and this guy were literally like all methed out or whatever. I don't even remember what drug they were on. Honestly, it's completely irrelevant, but they were on some sort of drug. They were in this kid's basement and she ended up killing him and then chopping him up and then ended up like partway through, like, yeah, fuck, I'm bored and like left. She was down there for a couple days
Oh
with the
yeah.
mother
Oh, that,
upstairs. So you're going to tell me if something like that were to happen, I wouldn't want retribution for my kid? Like that's fucked up. But to sit there and go, oh, well, she was intoxicated, so my hands are
yeah, you
tied.
can't hate
Sorry.
her.
I mean, she was
I'm
fucked
sorry.
up.
Like so there was one art or I can't remember what I was listening to. But it was a place in the States and there was the town that is like the town asshole. Like he poisoned dogs and because his dad was so well connected that well nothing could really get done. Like the family was very wealthy and he would like go up to people and point a gun in their face and the police just couldn't do anything. Well, eventually what this town ended up doing was they ended up having like a meeting, like a town meeting or something. And this guy was if it's a little hazy, but in the town what ended up transpiring in this town meeting is he somehow was shot and killed. This
Whoopsie.
town asshole.
Sure, it
But
was
so when
completely
the
accidental.
police were but so when the police were coming to do an investigation, everyone said, "I don't know who shot him." The whole town. And I think the only thing that someone was quoted as saying was, um, what did they say? It was something to the effect of, like, that boy had some good. It was like there was some good killing that needed to be done, or something like that. Like someone killed him, we don't know who, and because everyone had like the same gun, they just shot the shit out of him. There were so many bullets in this guy, they didn't know who actually killed him.
Oh my
And
God.
everyone just went, I don't know. We don't know. So yeah, it was just kind of the community solved the problem itself because the police couldn't or wouldn't.
A little scary,
Oh,
actually.
no, but so like really, this like I would say that is justice. Like this charter right violation, weird because they violate everything else. And oh no, that's not a violation. No, you can't travel in Canada. No, that's not a charter violation. All this stuff, but you can be out of your mind intoxicated and it's a viable defense. Oh,
That's mind-boggling to me.
well, but now you like would there not be some type of like vigilante justice? Like if someone, like killed one of our kids and they go, "Oh, well, I'm sorry. They were too drunk to know better."
Uh,
Fuck. Oh, okay. Is that what I got to do? Cuz I'll do it.
I literally like you don't even know. You don't mess with a mama bear, but like honestly, the way that this mother found dude, she found a bucket, opened it up, and it was her kid's head. 100% I'd be doing some vigilante shit. That bitch would be dead.
Well, and so a couple of notes that I have, like, so, when men were being accused of, even if the girl, like, it was all consensual, and there were even rulings that were coming out that men can be tried for raping a woman if she's drunk, but a woman could not be.
It's not fair.
Like, where's the justice in that?
There isn't.
And I've said before, like, it doesn't matter if there's laws. Like, every society has laws. It's whether they're being applied equally. And if they're not, that's a tyrannical government. Like, that's really messed up. Really messed up. All right, all right, so this was from CBC.
Okay.
CBC article. Hard segue. I found this so fucking funny. So funny. Like, this is capitalism working, like, full on.
Okay.
From CBC, so it's this Portland chef is opening the Sports Bra, a pub that will only show women's sports. Okay, like, I have no problem with that. Yeah, great name. Fucking fantastic name.
Oh, that's like a tow truck company with all females called Camel Towing. 100%. Fantastic name.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah. All right, so I guess this is from As It Happens. It's a news or segment or whatever. And so they had asked, what kind of reaction have you received? And this Bull Dyke says, an idea lives in your mind for a few years and you just think, oh yeah, of course I think it's a great idea. But you never know what it'll be like when you release it out into the world. And when I did, it was really scary. Okay, well, whatever. I've heard probably thousands of stories by now from strangers who have told me about how they've been living their whole life waiting for a place like this. Bullshit. Bullshit. They're so glad that they can raise a daughter and have a place like this for them to take them. Bullshit. Bullshit. So they had asked, you think there'll be guys who show up too? And the Bull Dyke says, oh, 100%. I tell people that, the sports bra, it's not a sports bar for women. It's a sports bar, or it's a bar for women's sports. So if you're a fan of women's sports, if you're a fan, singular, you're welcome here. The community craves a place like this and also a safe, inclusive environment. I think, you build it with the intention and then the people know that that's what's happening. Okay. You can talk about all you want, but it's really about what you're putting out there, what you're showing, and what it is the representation that you want to have. Okay. Hey, again, fantastic idea. Okay, hold on. Let me walk that back. Fantastic name. Fantastic. I love it. The idea, dumb as fuck. And some of the reviews I actually looked up. But
okay, so just stick with that though. But okay, so why do you think that the idea of it is quote dumb as fuck?
Because in sport, the idea of sport is to see the best. Like, if you want to see the best mopper, absolutely women.
Oh, them be fighting words, bitch.
You want to see who can nag the longest? I'm sure there's a women's sports for that. What?
I'm pointing at you.
Pointing at my penis?
I'm pointing at you.
Oh, I'm done there.
I don't know. Like, for me, I mean, thinking about it, like, I've been to sports bars before. I said bras. I've been to sports bras before. I've owned some sports bras.
I've been in some.
I've been in some, yeah. But I've been in sports bars before. And yeah, I mean, it's all guy sports. I don't think I've ever really seen a woman's sport. The only thing I've really seen woman related when I was in a sports bar was a UFC match. When it was So when I think about things like that, like obviously there are a lot of people out there, men and women, who enjoy watching women's sports. So whether it's gymnastics or whatever, I don't know. I can't think of any other women's sports of hockey, curling. I don't fucking know. Anyway, whatever. Clearly, I'm not a sports person. Okay, so forgive me. Don't come at me with a
Curling
pitchfork.
is a great sport for women because it's just cleaning.
Sweeping.
They're like natural. They're born for it.
They yell at you to sweep. But anyway, but I mean, having a place where it is primarily or all, I guess, women's sports, I don't think is a bad thing. I think I can't really see a lot of men going personally because I can't imagine the I'm gonna go to the sports bra tonight. Like I don't know. But regardless,
Well,
I mean, I don't think it's a bad idea. There isn't really anything that plays just girl sports. And yes, a sport is to be the best. But as we've talked about it before, when we've talked about like transgenders being in women's sports and stuff like that, men are more superior when it comes to sports. They are stronger, they're faster. This is what they're built for. So if you're going to go to a sports bar, I keep tripping on my words here. I keep wanting to say bra now. So name, thumbs up. But anyway, when you go to a sports bar and you want to see the best, it is primarily going to be men. So the chances of you actually being able to watch women's sports in a sports bar are pretty slim, unless you're seeing it in, like I said, a UFC match where it's like two women that are fighting, whatever. So I don't know. I don't find it that bad of an idea.
The only thing that I find like women's soccer is so much better than men's. Men are such pussies.
Oh,
like
they're
I was watching this. And this is why I can't take soccer seriously. It's a bunch of guys. I'm kicking the ball like a douche.
Well, then they cry when they miss.
Or someone like I was watching. Like these guys were getting in it, and one guy. So let's say this is the perpetrator. Okay, my hand's the perpetrator.
Yeah, sure is.
The the guy's in the other guy's face, and they're yelling, and this guy headbutts the other guy, and then falls and goes
I remember that. It was the funniest, dumbest shit I've ever seen. It was like, what a little bitch.
Outside of that, but so and you know what? Like, what is traditionally a sports bar? It's not like saying, "Hey, women, get out. We don't want you." No, it's hey.
Yeah.
The staff is saying, "Hey, welcome, ladies, welcome, men, welcome, welcome everyone." But this bar had the LGB fucking flag in it, and like I said, only cater it. It's funny because in this article they say that they didn't cater to men, or they catered to women and women's sports, but it's for men too. Well, let's look at this. Let's look at some of the reviews. So I was looking up some because some were saying, the food is great if you're a woman. So I'm not looking at the 5-star reviews because it's for those particular people. This place is not inclusive unless you're a woman. They don't like male patrons. They're trying the same thing that failed a cafe Handsome Her in Australia did, and forcing men to pay a man tax because they don't understand their liberal arts or yoga therapy degree isn't going to land them a good paying job. At least the bathroom is clean, according to my girlfriend, because there was a sign in the men's that said they rarely, if ever, clean it to punish men.
That's gross. That's gross. Now, are they talking about the one that's in Australia or this one? It sounds like they're talking about the one in Australia, which is nasty. Either one, that's just not right.
Well, see, but how I thought he was talking that this sports bra was doing that. But so whatever. Okay, so
it would be because he said my girlfriend said it's nice. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's not cool.
Okay, but if when you start excluding people, and this kind of comes to the bigger idea, like hey, you want to see women's sports? Well, if you scroll down, let's look at some women in sports. Hannah Muncy, far right, with her Australian women's handball teammates. Look at this gigantor motherfucker. That's a dude with pigtails. Look,
Which one?
one on the far right. How the fuck
Holy
can you not see it?
shit. I thought that was one of the coaches. I thought that was a dude.
Well, to some.
Oops.
Okay. And then Veronica Ivy. Like,
It's transgender. The Veronica Ivy is a transgender woman, so obviously it's a man.
The Hannah Muncy on the left, or on the far right, sorry, they're left. But here's Caster Semenya, whatever, was in the Olympics.
Yeah, but even look at that. They weren't allowed to compete in the upcoming Olympics due to high testosterone levels. So that's another probably transgender.
Yeah, no, that's it. Okay, so you want to make a sports bra for women? Okay, well now you have men competing in women's sport. Okay, so again, it's just men beating the fuck out of women at everything, which is what we always do.
I guess that's true. I mean, now you're turning into a women's sports bar. And yeah, it's just going to be men who are dominating. And the thing is, okay, I've been to sports bars before. I've never once seen a gay guy walk in there, even a flamboyant gay guy walk in there, and people like give him a hard time or whatever. It's been fine. Everyone's there to enjoy the sport. They don't give a shit. You know what I mean? Like, I think I know that there are people who are, what's it called? Not nice to those, the LGBTQ people. Like, I mean, I understand that. I'm not oblivious to it. I grew up in a time where they were very mean to them. So I get that. We've come a long way. But that's the thing. We've come a long way. Like, I don't see sports bars being non-inclusive to LGBT people. Like, because you.
Well, but this is specifically what this bar was doing, and I use "was" in a very poignant way, because it's the idea of, well, the left. Oh, well, we need more diversity. We need more inclusion. Oh, the sports bra is geared towards women's sports. Yeah, well, you shut down. You closed. So all the people, those thousands of people that were saying, oh, I'd love to have a place like that. Okay. But you closed down. You're gone. So you're another woke idea on a heap of shitty woke ideas.
Yeah.
Instead of being, hey, we are a sports bar geared towards women's sports. And you know what? Hey, guys, come on down. Absolutely. No, what do? Oh, well, it's only for women and their daughter. Not, hey, we want the family to come down. Yeah, well, the overwhelming majority, at least, I'll be generous and say at least 90% of North America is heterosexual. So you just lobbed off 90% of your potential market in order to placate to a 10% niche market, which most of them, I'm sorry, you don't have money. That is why I say, hey, you know what? The idea is fantastic. Love the idea. The name, sports bra. It's geared towards women's sports. Hey, get some exposure. Great. But when you start alienating your customers, like, hey, maybe I'm sure there has to be a guy that likes women's sports, like, right? Right?
I'm sure there is, probably because, whatever. Yes, there are guys out there who like women's sports. And I mean,
some beta male.
I mean, yeah. I mean, the thing is that, like, okay, so they're building a place. This is where my issue is. Okay. They're building a place that they're saying is more inclusive. But when you take a place and you're saying that, okay, it is inclusive, it is more inclusive, but the only people you're actually including are people who are from the LGBT community or women, and you're excluding men, that's not being more inclusive at all. That is literally doing what they used to do before. Well, they were very non-inclusive to the LGBT community that have come a long way since. And, they were fine with the quote unquote breeders. But, you're literally doing the opposite now. So you're including these people, excluding that. You're not doing anything any better. Like you're literally no better than they were. And yet you sit there and have an issue with them and you get mad at people for it when you're doing the exact same thing. Like two
Yeah, no,
wrongs don't make a right. It doesn't work that way.
it's not two wrongs making. It's hypocrisy. Well, sports bar
Yeah.
aren't inclusive for women. Well, weird because men and women can go to a sports bar and they enjoy it. Like they're not placated to. And
Correct.
so I find it really like I said, with the Ghostbusters, it's taking something that people enjoyed. Hey, guys and women enjoy sports. They, want to go to a place where, hey, other people enjoy sports along with them. Not where the overarching feel is, oh, well, are you representing this inclusive community? Well, if not, then you're excluded. That's not how you operate. Like when you operate under ideology, you are bound to fail.
Well,
Flat out.
yeah. Well, and honestly, that's really disgusting. The whole, that they don't clean the men's bathroom that often because they want to punish men. That is gross. Like, why? Did every single man in the entire world hurt you? Did they do something horrible to you? You're literally gonna just treat them like animals? Like that's really gross. That's disgusting, actually. And if I had seen something like that and I walked into one of those bathrooms or whatever and I had seen something like that, you better believe I'd be saying something to the owner and I would be walking out. I would not be giving them my business at all.
No,
That's gross.
it's like I said, I vote with my dollars. I'm sorry, MTS. You made the decision of becoming your employees doctors and all this type of stuff. Okay, you know what? Then I will not support it. If you just shut up and just, hey, we're here to provide a service and leave it at that, okay, fine. But now when you start getting into the identity politics and all this other type of rhetoric, okay, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
But if you scroll down a little bit, so this is what I we had talked about the Overton window. And obviously, this was the thing that Elon Musk brought up, and everyone's, like gasp. Oh my God, Elon Musk said this. But you know what? Okay, so I'm happy that this bar got shut down because I say it's actually non-inclusive. It is actually quite divisive, and
Yes.
it encourages division. Not, hey, you know what? Gay people, lesbian people, straight people, we're all here just to have a good time, bridge a gap, become a staple in the community where we don't care what your orientation is. We want you to come down and have fun.
Right? Just like Hooters. Men, women, older people, children, come on down, enjoy the hoots.
Yeah. But so they were showing the Overton window. And for anyone that doesn't know, it's kind of the spectrum in which ideas can be discussed, which is generally accepted, what's allowed. And so obviously this, and to be fair, like this is kind of how I feel. I feel the same thing. I don't feel like I left the left. It's like the left left me,
Oh, 100%.
and so you see that Overton window shift, and then what do we have in Canada? Okay, well the Overton window has shifted so hard that a racist black supremacist, you thought I was going to say white supremacist, wrong. A black supremacist goes and runs over children, kills them, and everyone's hush hush. Can't talk about it. No, don't talk about the race. But the second it's a white guy that espoused authoritarian, weird leftist ideology, all they say is a white supremacist. Oh, but that's the shifting of the Overton window. You're not allowed to talk about, if you want to talk about race, okay, well, we can't do that. We can't talk about that under that Overton window because it's now out of it. It's allowed. Sorry, it'd actually be this way. You my right, your left.
Yeah. Okay. So with that, fun little story time here. So just a quick little thing. Okay, so there's a game that I like to play. Okay, and I was playing a game, and this one guy, like he was in uh, a mech. Okay, so it's a big robot. He was in a light thing. So the typical job of the lights is to go run around and quote unquote do butt stuff, which is what we call you sneak up behind them, you shoot them in the butt, run away, right? Because they're the fast ones, right? Okay, so um, when we had dropped, somebody that I was playing with had made a comment saying, "I'm going to go do light stuff," but it sounded like I'm going to go do white stuff. So I laughed and I'm like, "You're going to go do white stuff?" I was like, "What is that?" And one of the other guys is like, get a mortgage, go to the bank. Like, what is, like, we're all kind of laughing about it, right? Okay. So then, and no fault to this guy. Like, this is just to prove a point here. The guy who actually makes this comment, like, he's a really good guy. I love him, stuff like that, which is why I'm not mentioning any names. But, you know, he had made a comment. He's like, "Okay, we're not talking about politics, no race. Let's drop it." Like right away, just like boom. And I was like, well, because at first he said no politics. And we're like, "What? How is that politics?" And he's like, "In no race." We're like, "Well, how, what? Like, how is race politics?" But that's the thing. Okay, because we said white, okay? White is
Yeah.
bad. White is the bad word. You can't say that. And I'm like, okay. So I was talking to somebody else, which I'm going to leave their name out of it too, because it's not important. The context of it is. So when I was talking to the other guy, I was like, okay, so how exactly is race politics? Like, this doesn't make any sense to me. Like, we're white, right? And the other guy that was talking and made the comment about doing mortgages and whatnot and whatever, he was also white. So I'm like, how is that politics? We're talking about our own race. And he's just like, well, it just is. Like, everybody's got to watch their P's and Q's and this and that, and da 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 da. But I'm like, okay, so if one of the other players that we play with who is not white were to come on and start talking about his race, are we going to start yelling at him and telling him the same thing? Like, no, you can't talk about black people. That's, that's not allowed. No, you wouldn't, which is just ridiculous. You're not allowed to like mention what race you are. If somebody that we play with is Asian or something like that and comes on and start talking about their heritage or themselves or mentioning that they're Asian, I'm not going to shut them down and be like, no, you can't talk about that shit. Who the fuck cares? I'm not talking
Well,
about someone else's race. I'm talking about my own.
all right. So I guess I can kind of I understand where like where you're coming from, but so like I'm kind of reminded of Frost, and I'm sure 99% of people don't know who Frost Garen is, but she was a commentator for League of Legends, like the pro scene or whatever.
Okay.
And like when I seen her, I was like, oh, that's cool. Like women are getting involved in casting these matches. Like that's great. That's cool. And then there was actually a female competitor. And so it was, that's great. That's great that women are getting involved in, what in most, like, and the thing is, in most sports it's male dominated because, just genetically, men are stronger than women, can react faster than women, but this is a girl that was playing at the highest league. Great. That's, and like, for me, hey, that's awesome. To be fair, like, obviously, and this isn't a racist statement, it's just fucking facts. So if facts hurt your feelings, then shut up. But Asians dominate League of Legends.
Oh my
Asians
God.
and Koreans dominate StarCraft. Like, this is stuff that I watch. Well, no, but but in Counter-Strike, it's typically Russian, Polish, it's Eastern Europeans are really good at Counter-Strike.
Kind of
So
cool.
you have
Okay.
people in their demographics that are, they excel, and then when you see that barrier be broken, that hey, a female competitor has has joined and is competing at a high level. That's great to see. But so Frost had said, about in regards to this Buffalo shooter, that this all had to do with Gamergate and how violent and how disgusting these communities are, that they're so toxic, and it starts as a racist joke, but then it manifests into and it becomes normalized, and then it becomes extreme,
Mm,
which
God, I think I just rolled my eyes
so
so hard it hurt. Ugh.
like okay, so and some people that had commented and had responded, like one person had said, oh well, yeah, that's I remember getting called the N-word in a Hearthstone game. I don't know how you do that because that's impossible. There's no text, and the only responses are canned responses like, "Hey, good game," or "You missed," or something like that. You
Yeah.
can't type in that game,
No, there's no
like,
voice,
at
nothing.
all.
No.
No. There's no way. So this person was saying, "Yeah, I experienced that with Hearthstone in matches." And I proudly say that I'm a black Hearthstone player. Ooh, like,
Clearly, you're not
okay.
playing it because you don't know that. Or you're playing like a tabletop version of it, and maybe your homeboy on the other side or some random person on the other side decided to drop the N bomb, but it's not even possible in the actual game,
Yeah,
like the
in the game,
electronic
like,
one. No.
there's no card copy of it. So, it shows how disingenuous these arguments are. And like I said, with the Overton window, you're not allowed to talk about women in games, or if you do, well, they have to be sexualized and they're breeding grounds for toxicity and male blah 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 blah.
It's
Okay,
like
but that's not true.
saying weed is the gateway drug to heroin. Like it's just so far
Yeah.
off.
But you see, so more and more, so like, to get back with the sports bra thing, you see them changing things. The okay, well, we're gonna make a sports bar for women's sports, right? But then the people that come out and say, we want this, we want this, we want this, well, but they don't put their money where their mouth is. You see, Disney has lost millions of dollars on this get woke, go broke shit. You see, Netflix is hemorrhaging money, like, quarter after quarter. They are losing millions upon millions of dollars, hundreds of millions. Amazon is losing hundreds of millions of dollars in their programming.
Oh, right, like Amazon Prime and stuff. I totally forgot about that. I was like, why are they
Yeah,
losing money? But okay, yeah.
because they change things. Oh well, we need to have more diversity and representation in video games, and to go back in competition. Well, we need to have more diversity.
Yeah.
Okay, but people aren't responding to it. Your sports bar closed in a year, less than a year, because no one is interested in it. They just didn't want it. And then you go, well, obviously it must be the patriarchy. That's why this has failed, is because men are bad. Men hate women. Men want women to fail.
It's
In what world? We're not in a Middle Eastern country. We're not in Saudi Arabia. We're not in China. We're not in any of these places that actively suppress women. Go there and fight your fight. But no, we need to keep saying that men are bad. And then when you see some guy finally lash out and say, fuck you, I've had enough, they go, well, why are you so toxic? What? See, this is the embodiment of male toxicity. No, it's because when you beat someone down, it's much like, the minority communities, when you say it's not your fault, it's someone else's fault. You're You're a professional victim. That's all you become. You can't succeed. So I'm sure these people think, well, the reason I can't succeed is because the patriarchy. It's not my fault that it failed. It's their fault.
We have literally created a society of people who cannot take accountability for any of their own actions, and everybody just plays the blame game on everybody. it's women's fault that transgenders aren't making it in the women's sports industry because, women aren't being inclusive and women are this and women are that. And, it's men's fault that LGBTQ bars or whatever aren't making it because, it's their fault. It's white people's fault because of this. It's like everybody has somebody else to blame for everything else. And the thing is, it's like, okay, no, your bar didn't fail because of men. Your bar failed because you were being completely divisive. You were dividing people. You were being rude to males who were coming in there. You were not being inclusive like you were claiming to be. So people clearly realized that and were like, see ya, I'm out. Like, that's not
Yeah.
okay. And this, like I said, like everybody just seems to have to blame everybody else for everything lately. Like nobody knows how to take accountability at all. And it's
Well,
really sad.
and I think this speaks to the bigger idea. Like us in Western society, we are so accommodating, so unbelievably accommodating. Like in terms of like, hey, if an Asian person comes somewhere, we go, hey, you know what? We want you to experience, share your culture with us. We want to, we don't want to feel you feeling isolated. We want you part of the community. Like I said, like, Southern barbecue was typically poor people food. And I love it. I love black, like if you have a black woman, like, a Southern black woman where she's, cooking food and she's using lard to make the chicken. She's putting all this stuff. If you have a fat black old woman, she's going to make amazing fucking fried chicken, better than Popeyes, better than Mary Brown's, better than anything out there. And we want your experience to be, part of us. Maybe it is, maybe I'm saying that in a weird way, but we're so accommodating,
Yeah, you want to enjoy
so
it.
polite. Well, we want people to, hey, you don't have to change who you are. You know, you're here. We're all one. It's like if you invite someone into your house and it's like I don't even like using like they're like it's not like, oh well, they're black people, they're visitors. This is our home. It's not yours. It's more the idea of my home is your home
Yeah.
and vice versa. It's that kind of thing.
Well,
But that's their cultures, collard greens, which is dog shit. But somehow they put beans and spices and they cook it for 5 fucking hours and it's amazing. Cornbread, like I said,
cornbread.
barbecue. Some of the best barbecue you will ever have is from a fat black old man. That is some of the best you will ever have in the world. And I love that. Hey man, if you see a black guy working, that's a pit master, his shit is going to be amazing.
Right? You're going over there. You're going to be like, hey, I'm on my way. Or you're just going to pull over as you're
Yeah,
driving by, be like, can I get one of those?
yeah. But like we're so accommodating that, hey, you know what? Transgenderism, even though, hey, like I'm just saying, like, if I don't agree with transgenderism, but you do, so you know what? You know what? If it makes you feel more comfortable, by all means. But now when people start going, well, you hate me because of it. I don't hate you. I just don't want to be told what to do. I don't want to have to do something in order to validate what you're wanting to do. Like, hey, if you want to be a man wearing a dress, hey, by all means.
Well, and it's not even just the being told what to do. It's okay if I'm a man and I were to walk into that bar and people are going to treat me like shit just because of something I got in between my legs. And because I'm a man and I identify as a man, how is that right or how is that fair? Like I'm being accepting, knowing what I'm walking into, but as soon as I walk in there, I'm getting attacked. Like
Well,
no.
no, but it's the idea of we are so accommodating. We are typically like I don't white people. Western culture is typically very accommodating. And now people are saying, well, now you're not accommodating at all. You hate people. You hate everything that we're about.
No.
And I think we're finally getting to the point where we're saying, okay, you know what? Enough. I've, you know, we're all supposed to be one. We're all supposed to be Canadian. We're all supposed to be American, European, blah, blah, blah. We're all supposed to be one. But now you're saying, no, not only are you not Canadian, you're actively anti Canadian. You hate Canada and everything that it stands for. So I think at some point, people are going to say, you know what? I've had enough. I'm done. No, you know what? All this fucking woke crap, out, gone. I'm done. You've crossed a line that I am no longer willing to accept whatever it is you are trying to bring here.
Well, because
I'm not interested in it anymore.
they've gone so far past that line already. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're accommodating and you're like, okay, let's do this, let's do that, da, 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 and then they just keeps going and going and going to more and more ridiculous things, and you're just like, exactly. Like I've mentioned before, with a lot of the shit that they're trying to push and stuff like that, and the ideology stuff they're trying to push in schools, it's literally going to create the most racist generation, the most divisive generation you're ever going to see. And that frightens me because I understand that no, I wasn't there. No, I'm not black or have any relatives that are black that I'm aware of. But I understand what the black community had gone through in the past. I also understand with the gay community, the transgender community. I've witnessed. And the thing is, like, you just, but that's my point is I've seen some bad stuff and I've seen how far we've come. And now we've come so far that now all of a sudden with all the pushing and everything like that and everything else that they're doing is actually going to start creating more divide, and people are going to start getting angry, and people are now going to push back because they've been accommodating, and now they're just going to be like, okay, like you said, enough is enough.
Well, I'm becoming less and less interested in this LGBT community because, you know, James Lindsay had made a point. No, there's the lesbian community, there's the gay community, there's the bi community, there's a transgender community, but they keep lumping everything, and to be fair, it's dividing. And this is ultimately this, you know, whatever. We don't need to get into it, but it's the same idea of dividing people. You know, the othering, and you know, like I said, I have no problem with a transgender cyclist. Okay, but when you're sacrificing what 20, 50, 100 cyclists on the pedestal of progressivism, yeah, well, who are you hurting? No, because it was actively not including people. That's what people don't. I don't go to a bar. I don't go to a restaurant so that I could be ridiculed. I don't have to do that. I can open up a fucking browser and see how bad and evil white people are, even though I'm not white. So, but
Or you can just come home and have your wife ridicule you. So you don't need to go to the bar for that. Just kidding.
yeah, exactly. But these are the things that are becoming harder and harder to talk about because hey, if you talk about this stuff, well, you're bad. You're an evil person. You know, just like this Buffalo shooter, this piece of shit. And I'll say the same thing for the Waukesha guy. He's a piece of shit. Like I don't understand why like not one is better than the other. They're both atrocities. They're both disgusting.
Yeah, it doesn't matter the
They're
color
they're
of the
both
skin.
yeah. You know, but so you know, we're not allowed to talk about these things. Instead of trying to find things that bring us together, no. Well, because you don't think exactly how I do, therefore you're not able to communicate. You're not allowed.
I think that's the big
Oh,
thing. You're not allowed to.
yeah. And so, you know, like I said, eventually people are going to say, you know what? Fine then. Then I'm a fucking racist. Fine. Then that's what I am. I hate women. Yeah, absolutely. I hate women. Then that, you know what? Whatever. Fucking take that out of,
See, I
you know,
told you. See, that's all I can envision as soon as you said that was that I keep going back to her. Like girl from that university thing where they had someone from the right come in and it was a bunch of leftists in the classroom. And that girl that was standing on the side that was wearing, I think she maybe
mm,
identified as a dude or something. I can't even remember, but wearing like this like crop top and stuff like that. And she's like, I'm a boy, and like screaming at the guy. Every time I think of some crazy like the left, that's what I think of now. And it's funny because like going back to what we were talking about before, like with this graph thing that we have here, like I had always I always figured, okay, well, yeah, I'm more left side. But as you see, as time is progressing, like you can say, okay, well, now you're going more to the center, and now all of a sudden you're on the right, and you're identifying, or not identifying, but you're agreeing more with people, their ideology of people who are on the right. And you're like, how did this even happen? And now you look at people on the left, and that's what you see, is you see those crazy people. Like that's what you envision the left to be as now, which is
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
sad.
Yeah. All right, let's get the hell out of here.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you everybody for taking the time out to listen to some things that we had to say about the craziness going on in the world today. And hope everybody has had a fantastic Monday. Have a good day today. And we will catch you again tomorrow. Don't forget to check us out in all the places listed in the description box below. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.